So we all understand very, very well that narcissists are pretty notorious for infidelity and cheating on their partners or their spouses. So why don't all narcissists cheat on their spouses or their partners? Regardless of the common traits and behaviors between narcissistic individuals with their own strengths and weaknesses, when I say I should say we, because perhaps we all have aspects of narcissism that flow through our existence and our experience and our behavior, but encapsulated within each of us are values which set the directions and the limits on our actions, on our specific actions, and we get what we need following our intuition and respecting our barriers to one degree or another. And under stress, all of this structure bends, and at times it can break. So in broad strokes, our circumstances, our needs, and our will determine our actions and the paths of our lives. So back to the narcissist. A narcissist thinks first and foremost about their own well-being, and albeit a very short-sighted version of their well-being. In all reality, they are searching for something they are incapable of finding. They are pushing the proverbial stone up the mountain, and even though the stone is already on top, they will push it down to start up the next mountain on the other side. They are looking to find the security of perfect love, but since they do not fully love themselves, they will never believe, accept, or understand love from another person, especially the love that partners of narcissists are notorious for giving to the narcissist. They are looking for a love so perfect and so strong that it convinces themselves that they are lovable, if that makes any sense. But perhaps the only way that we can truly be loved is to truly love ourselves, and I fully believe that. And in achieving that, understand what it is to love others and what love itself truly is. So if you know for sure, and there's really no way to know for sure, especially with a narcissist, if you believe that your narcissist doesn't cheat on you in really any way, then they are probably not a narcissist, and they have found productive, well-balanced, psychologically healthy ways of fulfilling their needs. In either case, you should be thankful. If you exist on the other side of this conditional, the answers are a bit more difficult, but life is a journey of understanding, developing compassion, forgiving, and not judging. So it is a journey for which the only objective is to learn to love better and know ourselves better so well that we are complete in and of ourselves without the narcissist, no matter what it is that they do, so that we only have the excess of love to give to others. And this is truly the path that leads away from narcissists and narcissism. So how do you define cheating? Narcissists are prone to double standards, very prone to double standards. So what they accept from their own behavior is far less restrictive than what they expect in return from their partners. So what they need is adoration and praise and a powerful flow of positive energy, unquestioned agreement with everything that they say and everything that they do, as they need to feel love with absolutely no hint of criticism or judgment, and regardless of what they do. If they are criticized and judged, they have to go through the mental hoops of redefining their little universe so that their inner critic and that inner judge aligned against them is fully at fault and utterly destroyed. So redefining their universe, selecting the facts, building the logical structures, creating the chapel in which they stand without guilt while their perceived opponents burn in the rages of hell outside that chapel requires a massive amount of psychological energy, which brings us to the question asked, why don't all narcissists cheat on their spouses or their partners? It is actually kind of not a valid question, because all narcissists cheat in one way or another, whether it's physically or emotionally They cheat on their family, they cheat on their friends, their spouses, and anyone that stands in between them and their own elevation to sainthood, because every person has limits on what they are able to do and what they are able to justify. People have moral compasses, is what I'm trying to say, which draw the limits on how far that we can go, and how to know when we cross those limits. It's harder to say it's harder for us to say it's another person's fault than it is for a narcissist. And with time, narcissists push those boundaries, perhaps to find room to expand behaviors as needed, but soft or hard boundaries, they have them. It depends on the narcissist, and this is a really complicated question, because religious upbringings and cultural norms or family constructs and even personal insecurities put limits on everyone's actions and what we are able to justify for ourselves. Narcissists also, I presume, exist within these constraints to varying degrees, and their need for an inflow of love to fill their emptiness over time will push against those constraints. But the combination of circumstances and person perception leads to the variety of outcomes that is life. And since narcissists need more than they can ever get, they will always go outside of the relationship looking for more. And I know I'm using the adjective more where I should have used a noun, kind of, but I cannot find the right noun to really define the circumstances. And they need more. So just a ubiquitous more. So if you think you have a relationship and your goal is to build the relationship, feel and understand the other person, celebrate, forgive the intricacies of personality, cry and laugh of the stumbles of life, and understand that a narcissist's only goal is to receive adulation from you and the rest of the world in response to their relationship with you, in a word, to win. And any interpretation in the adulation, and they will set about other ways of getting what they need from whoever it may be. So what is cheating? Is it looking at an attractive stranger, smiling at them? Is it how you talk to somebody? Or is it in your body language? Can people around you see the source of your behavior, and do they know if it's friendly or if it's flirting? Is it in public or is it in private? Is it random? Is it planned? Does it happen frequently? Is it a touch on the knee? Does the kiss shift from the cheek to the lips? Does it linger on just a little longer than normal? Are you just friends? Or, they say we are just friends. There's nothing between us. It's a platonic relationship. And does your partner look into your eyes, enjoy at those moments of intense connection, or do they close? Or do their eyes close to divert off to the side out of a kind of a fear of intimacy, to go to another place, to another person, possibly in their mind? And in ways, we all kind of cheat on our spouses and partners in little tiny ways, and doing little tiny things that would possibly hurt them in one way or another. And if they knew about this, and I'm talking about things in our mind, narcissism leads us further down that path, more willing to betray a spouse in a greater way, in a physical way, in an emotional way, with less regret, in order to fill that black hole in their soul. Perhaps in a good relationship, those betrayals are limited, and both couples are willing to admit to some fault to some degree, perhaps to even go beyond forgiving and understanding, to taking some joy and seeing some beauty in them. And in a good relationship, they are balanced and understood, and honesty and willingness to discuss things is there. And in a relationship with a narcissist, there is no balance or integrity or honesty or sharing, as narcissists get what they need and what they feel comfortable with when they want it. And they are not constrained by those who love them, or people otherwise known as those who might bring them down.